Friends are so annoying. Like, I'm literally so annoyed right now. My boyfriend had a sleepover with all his friends last night. And then tell me why they literally called me, waking me up at 4 a.m. I wanted to cry. Anyways, so then I went to sleep after because I was like, literally, what the fuck? So now it's the next day, aka today, and me and my boyfriend had plans to go back to school shopping together. But now it's past 3 p.m. and I've had no contact with my boyfriend whatsoever. He has not called me, texted me, snapped me back, literally nothing. So I'm like, okay, that's weird. Let me check his location, because why not? I check his location, and he's just at home. Like, what? He's not even at his friend's house anymore that he slept over at. So I go on Snap, and I checked the last time that he was active on there, and it said that he was active literally an hour ago. And I'm pretty sure I was on delivered at that time, but even if I wasn't, he still could have snapped me or texted me, like, he was active. And I would call him, but sometimes he doesn't answer me. Like, whenever he's sleeping, he doesn't answer me till like 80-second call. And now it's past 4 p.m. and I still have not gotten a single call, text, snap, nothing from him. So now I really just want to wait and see what happens. But I'm all done with my makeup, and if you're my boyfriend and you're watching this, what is up with you? I got to know what's going on. Please contact me because I'm getting annoyed, angry, and a little bit nervous because what if you're not okay? I don't know.
Here's some crazy things that my parents would let me do as a kid. I got 2 tattoos at 14. Wouldn't recommend. I was in the 4th grade. My mom took me to get my first set of fake nails. They were purple and I got a design on every nail. In the 6th grade, my mom would let me and my friend go to the beach, and it was an hour away on public transit, and we would go by ourselves and like spend the whole day there. Toronto public transit, may I add. This was me one of those days. I always looked a lot older than my age. I don't know if that made my parents think that I was older, but I was 11 in this. I was either 11 or 12. In like the 5th grade, my mom would let my friends sleep over, including this one guy friend that we had. We would set up the tent outside and sleep in the tent. We would set it up in the backyard, not just outside anywhere. That would be crazy. I started wearing makeup in like the 3rd or 4th grade, and I would wear so much makeup that my teachers literally took my older brother out of his classroom to ask if my parents knew that I was wearing this makeup to school. If I didn't feel like going to school, I didn't have to, and if I got bad grades, my parents would just ask if I tried my best. It kind of just allowed me to take responsibility for my life at a very young age. They would say stuff like, you'll make the best decisions for yourself. Like, girl, maybe I need some guidance. Maybe just a little. If you have some time. Also, if I got in trouble at school, my mom wouldn't automatically take the teacher's side. She would always ask me what happened first, and then she would always take my side. Honestly, I think they're like this because I'm the youngest. I kind of like gave up because my brother, his experience was different.
The drama in my life right now isn't even mine. It's like the shit I overhear in the school bathroom, and now I'm like invested. Yesterday I was in there minding my business, doing my business, and these 2 girls come in, not to use the bathroom. What they were talking about was wild. Now, before I continue, I'm not judging. It's your life. You do you. It's just crazy to hear. Now, I know a decent amount of people in my grade and the grade below me. So, then these people I didn't recognize, so which means they were like freshmen, or maybe sophomores, but probably freshmen. So this one girl's like, oh my god, like, I like your bracelet, or like something. She gave her a compliment, and she's like, thanks, like, I got it yesterday. Oh, where'd you get it? And she was like, oh, I stole it. And I was like, oh, okay. Stealing is not that uncommon, so that wasn't the big shock. And then the other girl was like, oh, it's so cute, like, do you think you could steal me one? The other girl was like, oh yeah, like, I can steal it after school, like, isn't your birthday soon? Like, it can be your birthday present, we can, like, do it together. And I was like, oh my god, that's a really interesting way to bond. And then a 3rd girl walks in, and she's like, yo, not saying names, I got your shit. And then one of the girls walks away, and then the other 2 girls start making out. Again, you do you, like, pop your pussy in the school bathroom, but they were like making out, and I'm sitting there like, they start doing whatever they're doing, and I'm sitting there like, fuck, I can't leave the bathroom right now, that's like weird. So they finish sucking face, and one of the girls is like, okay, like, I love you, bye. And she leaves the bathroom, and then another girl came in. I could tell because I was washing their shoes. Another girl came in and starts making out with the girl that was just making out with the other girl who just did the drug deal with the other girl. And they're like macking on each other too. And then the new girl who just came in is talking about some like, oh, is your ex still bothering you? Like, God, she's so annoying. And the girl's like, yeah, she was just in here, like, stalking me. Like, it was so weird. I was like, oh, you, what? So then I come out the bathroom, because I've been in there for a really long time, and I'm like, I give her, like, the, like, smile, you know what I mean? And she was like, hi, and I was like, hi. And then I went back to class, and now every day I've been looking at everybody's shoes, trying to figure out who the fuck these girls were. Love you, and I will report back.
Get ready with me whilst I tell you some really funny but traumatic experiences I had when I was at school and being a social media girl. Starting off, I think this is one that a lot of people always get shocked about because they're like, no way people asked you this. But teachers used to always ask me like, oh, how much do you earn a year? And like all these really, really personal questions about like my money. And like I just always used to think I would never ask a teacher how much they earn, so why are they asking me? A lot of people always expected, like because I had a following on social media, that a lot of people wanted to be my friend. But I'd say it was the complete opposite. People was kind of like, I don't even know what it was, but people was just so weird with me and like just was rude all the time. Be like, oh, she's a TikTok girl, like she's so prestige. But none of them would even speak to me. Like I made some really good friends in younger years and my years, but everyone else just had such an opinion when they didn't know me, which is one thing I find with social media, and a lot of my friends had the same issues growing up on social media. It's really annoying. I think one of the most funny, memorable things is the rumours people used to make about me, which was so far from the truth. And it used to literally make me giggle so much because I'd be like, that's just not true. Like, basically, some girls was throwing balls at the back of my head in PE. And I felt really dizzy, so I went to the medical woman and they made me like tell them what happened because I was like, I don't really care, but I had to tell medical what happened. And then medical told pastoral, which is like the people that like try to sort out problems. And I remember I was like, oh, this is just going to get me so much more problems. And then the whole of year 8 and 9, I had a rumour going around that apparently my parents paid the school to get me out of trouble. And my dog's sneezing like mad. Are you okay? But no, like, there was seriously a rumour going around that my parents owned part of the school. My parents paid the teachers not to get me in trouble. But in reality, they was all the ones that was being naughty and not me. That's why I just never got in trouble, because I was just the blooming victim of it all. But yeah, that was a very good rumour that went around. Everyone literally told everyone that my mum paid the school to get me out of trouble. Another thing was I was called Snobson because my last name's not actually Charlize, it's Hobson. And my whole school life I was called Amelie Snobson because apparently I was a snob. In year 7 I had a red bag, so in year 7 most of the people used to call me Red Bag Girl because no one knew my name. If I ever had hate from anyone from school, like being horrible to me, and the school found out about it, the school would tell me to quit social media because that's the reason that I get hate. But, like, there would be kids that done dancing in my school that would get hate because they was, like, good at dancing. But they never got told to quit what they was passionate in doing. It was just because I done something different. If you want a part 2, let me know. I've got so much more.
Hi. I know that's crazy, but I want to do a story time on the time that I put up with this really fucking ugly guy so my friend could fuck his really hot friend. Okay, so I'm going to call the guy that I was with Luke and the guy that she was with Jake. Okay, so Lucas texts my friend and he's like, hey, are you and Michaela together right now? And she was like, yeah. He's like, okay, I'm bringing Jake over. We'll be over in 5. Okay, so I'm sitting in the back with Luke and my friend is in the shotgun with Jake. And we get to this, like, random ass park, which I don't know why they brought us there. And he was like, so what are we doing here? I was like, you know damn well what we're doing here. Like, you guys do your thing. So the boys went out of the car and they had like a meeting to like, I don't know, like plan what they were gonna do. So then he kicked me and Luke out of the car so he could be alone with my friend. Okay, so I'm sitting on the bench with this guy who has absolutely no game. Like, no game. I didn't even know it was possible for someone to like act like how he did. He was like, oh my god, my hands are so cold. I was like, okay. What do you want me to do about it? And he was like, you're mean. I was like, yeah, because I don't want to be with you. I don't know what I'm doing here. Well, I do. I was like there to help my friend, but you know. So he was like, oh, like, let me see your phone. And he's like, he's grabbing my hands and he's like, you look so old. You look so old. I'm 15. He was like, you look 18. You look like a senior. I was like, okay, thanks. I don't know what I'm supposed to say that. I forgot how old he was, but I know he was a lot older than me. But then, luckily, Jake calls and he's like, oh, my mom is mad. Like, I gotta get home. So we drive back And then I get out of the car and I'm like, okay, like, yay, like I got out of this, I'm going home. No, I did not get to go home that night. She stayed in the car, so I got out and I was like, okay, like, let's get back in the house to my friend, but she stayed in the car with him. I was like, oh, okay, like, I'm gonna put up with this again. So then Luke tries to get me into his car so we can go to the back seat together. He says, he looks at the car and he goes, oh my god, it's foggy on the inside, let's draw on the inside. I was like, no, we will not be doing any of that. So I like draw on the outside. I draw like a little smiley face on the outside of his car, and he's like, you can't really see it, so we should go on the inside and like check it out. No. So then when I like resisted the attempt of getting in the backseat to draw smiley faces on the inside of his car, I tried to say like, oh, I need to go check up on my friend, like I need to make sure she's safe, I don't want to be here. And he's like, no, she's fine, just give her some time alone. Go to part 2.
Get ready for me to go confront my best friend at the mall. And my friend is also here, and she's going to be the one that's going to record when I confront her. So I'm going to do a backstory. So me and this girl have been friends for like, I want to say like 3 years. Me and her became friends in like 8th grade, and we're going to be juniors this year. So me and this girl are like so close, or like we were, until I took her to a party that was like closed. So I was the one that was invited, but I took her because like she was like my +1 basically, and like you're just allowed to bring like your friends. And my boyfriend was also gonna be there, so I was like, okay, like I'll go, because usually like I won't go to a party if my boyfriend's not going, because it's just like, why would I go really? So obviously at parties, like you party, like not even like, I was just like dancing around, and I was like, where's my man? We're gonna call him Jay. And so yeah, I start looking, and literally no one knew, because like everyone was drunk as fuck, like everyone's partying, like it's a party. And no one knew where the fuck he was. And I looked all downstairs and upstairs, and he like wasn't fucking there. And so I called my friend, because I also couldn't find her, but like we were all just like going around, like she was getting us drinks and stuff. So I was like, okay, she's probably just like drinking with someone. And this party like was also outside, so it was like in backyard and indoor. So I call her, and she was just not answering. So my other friend and her boyfriend were like upstairs in like our room, like I don't even know. And I was like, okay, they're in there. And like I just didn't check up there when I went upstairs. So I was like, you know what, maybe they're all hanging out in there. So I like knock on the door, and no one answers. And TMI, I really have to go to the bathroom, and I was like banging on the door because it's my friend's room. So like, what, like hello? So I was banging the door, and all of a sudden they both walk up there, and I was like, I thought you guys were in here. I was calling your name for like literally 5 minutes straight. And she was like, we haven't been in there for 10 minutes. And then I was like, who the fuck is in there? And she was like, I have no idea. So we started banging on the door. Like 5 people were banging, trying to see who the fuck was in here. Because like, why was her room locked? So we get someone to like try and like bust down the door. Because at this point, like we want it in the room. And she doesn't have like a key to get in her room. Like the thing that you can twist to like unlock a door. And finally, someone was able to, like, unhinge, like, the lock or something. And we opened the fucking door. And we see 2 moving bodies, like, under the fucking blanket. Like, no noise at all. It was, like, weird. And I, like, opened the fucking blanket. And, yeah, they're both fucking there. And honestly, I thought I would be more sad. But honestly, I'm not even, like, yeah, obviously, like, I'm upset about the whole friend thing because I've known her for 3 years, but she's toxic and ugly as hell. Like, we couldn't even get a 2-man. And yeah, me and my boyfriend were only dating for, like, a couple weeks or, like, maybe, like, a month because he rich as hell, so I was like, okay, like, why not? And, you know, I don't even care at this point. I'm just gonna be upset that he can't DoorDash me food. So yeah, I've decided to just make light of the situation because it's just so, like, obviously tragic, but, like, honestly, who cares? Like, she ugly anyways. They can be together. So yeah, it's like, it's not really confronting because she knows that I know. But I'm just gonna like fucking be like, yo, like we not chill, because she thinking we chill. But then again, it's like, I don't know if she knows, because when we were there, she was drunk as hell and he wasn't. So honestly, that kind of sus. But she just doesn't think that I know. So yeah, I think she was too drunk to even know, because like when I saw that, I just drove away. I was like, you know what, F this, like. So yeah, I'm gonna go like talk to her because she thinks that we're hanging out today. So I don't know if she knows. It's honestly such a confusing situation, but he obviously knows that like we're done. So yeah, we're totally done, but her, yeah, we're also done. But I'm just gonna confront her and I might end up beating her ass. So yeah, even though that already got beat up, I'm gonna beat it up anyways, and I'm gonna see her at the mall. So I'll let y'all know how it goes.
When I was 13, I made the worst decision of my life. It traumatized me so much. I'm now 19 and I regret it every day. I decided to move away from my family to a completely different city 2 hours away and live in an apartment with 2 girls I barely knew, one of them I had never met, to pursue gymnastics more seriously. The way this worked is Monday through Friday, we had gymnastics and we would do like school upstairs online. And then every night a different parent would come stay with us in our 1-bedroom apartment. And then at the end of the week on Friday, we would all go back home and then drive back up to the apartment Sunday night. So I would see my mom like once or twice a week, and then some of Friday, all of Saturday, and some of Sunday. Why she let me do this, I have no idea. Also, all 3 of us were about the same age and I was in 8th grade. The only good thing that came out of this is I met one of my best friends who was the girl I didn't know. The gym environment ended up being absolutely traumatizing and we were all being abused. Things went south pretty quick. We were all crying multiple times a day. We would cry before practice, we would cry at night anticipating practice, we'd cry after practice, and our parents were like, you made this decision, like you gotta stick to it, but I don't think they knew how bad it was. We all started to experience panic attacks and we just wanted to be home. I absolutely hated like every second there, and I'm pretty sure they did too. I have so many stories of just whack, horrible things that happened there. But like I said, there was one good thing that came out of it, and that was meeting my best friend, and she was the girl that I didn't know when I first moved in. We became inseparable like super quick. We did everything together, and when we weren't at practice or worrying about practice, we were like laughing. The whole time we were supposed to be doing school, we would be laughing. Like I never laughed harder than I did with that girl. We would have movie nights like all the time, and since we were all staying in the same bedroom, we ended up making a fort underneath our beds because they were all touching, and we'd watch movies under there. My best friend ended up bringing her cat, and we also had a hamster. That hamster is a story for a different time, but we had so much fun having like the cat there. We were definitely all trauma bonded because we went through so much together. I still talk to the girl I was best friends with. I actually FaceTimed her the other night, and she's my best friend I've ever had in my entire life. I wish I could have met my bestie in a different way because the damage was so not worth it. This entire thing lasted over a year, so let me know if you want more stories from this time in my life because I have so many.
Remember to always keep your doors locked because the weirdest thing just happened to me. I was coming home from the UPS store and I pulled into my garage, got out of my car, walked up to my front door, and there was a really weird lady and her dog standing right by my front door. And I live on like stairs, so you have to walk upstairs to get to my front door, and she was at the very top of the stairs. Now, she looked harmless, just like a normal girl walking her dog, so I thought maybe she was a solicitor at first. So I was like, hey, can I help you? She didn't say anything. She started very slowly walking down the stairs. And then she comes down to the bottom of the stairs where I am. I back up a little bit because I'm like, okay, why aren't you saying anything? This is weird. And she whispers to me, I'm looking for Stephanie. I don't know a single Stephanie. We don't have any neighbors named Stephanie. None of my roommates are named Stephanie. So I go, oh, I'm sorry, I can't help you. I don't know who that is. And she whispers back and she's, oh, I think she used to live here before. And I was like, I know she didn't live here before because there was boys living in my house before me. So I was like, okay, this is weird. I just started walking up my stairs. I'm like, sorry, I can't help you. As I'm walking up the stairs, I'm kind of looking back at her and she starts following me up my stairs. And because she looks kind of like a normal girl, I was like, okay, maybe she's confused. Maybe she is looking for a Stephanie. But then when she started following me up my stairs, I was like, no, red flag. This girl's weird. So I look at her as she's following me and I give her the meanest look. I literally go like that. And she like kind of stops. And then she starts going again, and I'm still looking at her, so she finally turns around and walks away. So I run up into my house, lock my door, put all my groceries down, because I had also gone to the grocery store. I was carrying like a ton of stuff. And then I run out onto my balcony, because if you stand on my balcony, you can actually see like the stairs and my front door and like the side of my house by my garage door. So I can basically see everything, even my gate to exit like the property. So I see her standing by my garage door. And my garage door is right next to my stairs. So I see her standing right in front of my garage door, peering around the wall to look up my stairs. I'm like, is she waiting for me to come out? Like, this is just so weird. So then I straight up yell at her from my balcony. I'm looking down right at her and I say, you need to leave the property right now. So without even looking up at me, she just leaves the property, opens the gate, doesn't close it though. So I wait a couple minutes and then I go down there and I close the gate because the gate locks. So I wanted to close it so she couldn't come back in. And then I went to look out my window to see where she went, but I couldn't find her. She just kind of disappeared. Moral of the story, don't leave your door unlocked though, even when you're home. I close it or lock it all the time. I don't know if that lady was like trying to break in or what, but it was weird. Granted, I do live by the beach and there's a bunch of homeless people, so I'm probably extra cautious. Stay safe out there. Almost forgot my highlighter.
So I'm gonna tell you guys a funny story. So when I was in high school, I was like a junior. I was in the mall with my friend. We were waiting to get some food. We were in the line. And the lady in front of me had a kid. And the kid was like looking at me, smiling, giving me high fives. And the woman turned around and smiled at me just because her kid was like, you know, trying to play with me. And after we ordered, we went to the side of the thing to wait on the food. And the woman looked at me and she was like, are you pregnant? I'm like, no. And then she was like, well, my kid has a sense for people that are pregnant. That's why she was playing with you so much. And I'm like, what? That is crazy. And she was like, yeah, my kid can sense it. Whole time, I'm a virgin. I didn't even but I didn't want to burst her bubble. So I was just entertaining her. I was being nice because that's just who I am. I was like, you know, entertaining it, smiling and stuff. And then once I got my food, me and my friends went to go sit down. And while we were sitting down, the woman, she left by the time we were sitting down. She came back from outside and my friends were like, guys, she's coming back. And she came to me while I was eating and she was like, I think you're having a boy. And I'm like, what? That's so cool. I'm having a boy? And she was like, yeah. I'm like, well, I gotta go get tested. I actually want to know what pregnancies her kid predicted because why did she think that? And what if she said that to a lady who was trying to have a kid? That would be so messed up. I just realized I didn't put on my lashes. But I've been using the 3D foam ink. These. Got them at CVS. Also, I'm trying to heal. I'm trying to grow and stuff. So I'm not talking to anybody. I'm not dating or anything. But when I start, I'll talk to you guys about it. And I'll be doing get ready with me for a date. Blah, 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 blah. So I'm not leaving you guys out of anything. Whew, I love the way that smells. Have a great day. Go act the fool. Go get money. Go dress up. Do whatever you need to do to make you happy. Stay safe.
I used to do a lot of unhinged shit when I was in high school. I literally made a new account to basically expose myself because everyone I knew from high school was on my old account. So anyways, basically if I didn't like you and I was in front of you in the hallways or I was sitting in front of you in class, I would basically fart and then walk away because no one would expect it to be a bad bitch. So I never really cared, and it was more of a, oh yeah bitch, smell my fart bitch, yeah ho. That was my whole mindset about it, which was kind of weird, not gonna lie. So I was having a friend that had boy troubles, and basically I gave this girl the idea to create a new account and see if he tries to get with the fake girl. Basically I got her from Pinterest, and I started following all my friends from high schools, people that he would know. Mind you, this boy had tons of girl best friends. If you know what I mean by that, you know what I mean. So yeah, the account had to be on my phone because obviously they're together, he goes to her phone, blah blah blah. So she basically told me to go forward with it and start following him while they were on FaceTime. So mind you, they were on FaceTime and I followed him, and then after that I texted him. Mind you, there was no post of her in his Instagram, zero. Okay, so like I said, they were on FaceTime, right? And literally the moment I followed him and the moment I texted him, like, she said that he went like completely silent. Like, they were talking and then like he went completely silent. And then basically she was like, oh, what happened, like what's wrong? And then he was like, nothing, you know what I mean? So yeah, it was just a back and forth, like, oh, hey, where are you from, what are you doing? And then he texted me, how did you find me? And I said, oh, your homegirl told me to follow you. And then basically he's the type to like fucking be like, oh, give me a hug, like, you know what I mean, like those fucking weird ass dudes. So obviously he didn't think nothing of it. And then basically he was like, oh, like, let me call you, let's go on FaceTime, like, give me your number. So I had to like give him an excuse why we couldn't FaceTime, because I had to use a Google number. And then he started texting me on that number. Mind you, I already told this girl all of that, and she's very, very surprised and very upset. Like, and she was like, basically, let's see how far this dumbass is gonna go. Like, let's see how far this dumbass is gonna go. That's how she was, basically. So 2 or 3 days passed by of basically the fake girl texting him, and she didn't say anything. Like, the strength on this woman. Go to part 2. This is part 2 of the things I did in high school that were unhinged as fuck. So yeah, like I said in the last video, if you didn't check that out. That'll kind of make sense. So basically, she had to hold her tongue. Like, she was powerful. Like, I could not do that shit. Like, I could not do that shit. So basically, we were just waiting until he was like, let's meet up. Because they were talking in the text message like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he was like spinning some like game, I guess, to this fake ass girl. I also forgot to mention that we basically told him that we lived like an hour away at this different school, and if he wanted to meet her, that he had to like pick her up, and not pick her up, he had to meet her at a place. Like, how's he gonna pick her up because she's fake? We basically told him like, oh, she was like, oh, like, let's meet at our house, like, come to my house. Like, that's what we basically said to him. And we sent him the address that was literally 2 hours away to a fucking Planned Parenthood. So guess what his dumbass did? He ended up fucking going to meet up with that bitch that's fucking fake and drove 2 fucking hours. Meanwhile, he doesn't even want to like pick up my original friend. He doesn't want to pick her up from her house. So yeah, we're basically, me and this girl, we were at her house and we were basically just laughing at him. Like, he was a dumbass bitch, basically. We were just basically laughing at him. And you know what he had the nerve to do? Literally after he fucking hit her up and was like, let me go pick you up. Let's go eat at Denny's. At Denny's, broke ass bitch, at Denny's. Basically, she fucking called him and was like, I know what you did, you fucking stupid ass little boy. You're fucking embarrassing. Like, blah, 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 cursing him out. As she should. As she fucking should. Basically, she told the whole fucking school this dumbass kid fucking drove 2 hours away to get with some fake ass bitch, blah blah blah, yada yada yada. And basically everyone was making fun of him. So honestly, he got what he deserved, and I really hope that I can do that again to some dude, because like I feel like that's just like refreshing and it's like justified. Like, I'm a Libra, so like Libra scale, justified. Exactly. More of the story is bad bitches will forever find out, and bad bitches should not be played with. So that's more of the story. So if y'all want some more story times, please let me know. I'll do it for y'all. Love ya.